straight from the blog out there in Dallas, Texas. www.svmovieblog.net. You're listening to the Screen Visions Movie Blog Podcast with Desmond Childs. The Marathon Man is back and better than ever.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Desmond Childs, and this is what? Screen Visions Movie Blog Podcast on the Oticast Radio Network. Got a fantastic show for you guys. A lot of feelings in this one, talking about A Brand New Life 2009, and also Yes or No 2. Excuse me, that's from 2012. So yeah, we've got kind of a serious subject matter. A lot of things going on about child abandonment issues, romantic triangles, that sort of thing. Again, guys, oticastradio@gmail.com if you want to send me questions, comments, and concerns for the mental health of the host. That is me. Also, the blog is svmovieblog.wordpress.com. That is probably where we are going to stay until I'm in a position where I can get a URL back. And yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. I know in October here, I've already done some research in terms of what I want to do for the October movie, the Monster Movie Marathon. And so that's getting ready to come up here. I wanted to get 3 additional episodes out for September before we got into that. And so I'm not sure if there's going to be a central theme other than horror and psychological thrillers in October. But I'm leaning toward maybe having it focus on animation. So animated horrors, it doesn't necessarily have to just be anime. It could be, other, movies, that type of thing. Because I've seen a lot of good animation from all over the world. So it doesn't necessarily have to be anime. If you have any suggestions, send them to otacastradio@gmail.com. otacastradio@gmail.com. All right, so after the song break, we're going to kick things off with A Brand New Life. It's about a little girl having to adjust to being abandoned, left, and forgotten. All right, so SV Movie Blog, back in a second.
Is it us? Or did online radio just get a bit more cultured? To find out more, log into www.odacastradio.com. odacastradio.com.
And I think a lot of people don't like Ninja Scroll anymore.
Really?
Because there's like a new breed of anime fans now. Who knows what the hell they watch?
Well, I think they don't like it for the same reason they don't like Fist of the North Star. It's too raw and powerful for them to handle. And it's unnecessarily... yeah, it's unnecessarily objectifying of women.
Well, whatever. I mean, that's how women are, aren't they?
Full of gunpowder?
Yes.
And snakes?
Dude, that is so hot.
Full of snakes filled with gunpowder?
I'm so waiting for the day that I, like, pick up some chick at a bar and I'm like, hey, baby, what's up? And she's like, kaboom!
Oh, snap!
I'm like, I think I just had sex.
Was it good for you? Oh, that was amazing. Have a cigarette. Dave and Joel's Fast Karate for the Gentlemen.
The podcast for people who don't like anime.
Or podcasts.
Find us online at daveandjoel.com.
Would you like me to sing you a song, Dad? It's words by me, Desmond Childs. Jin Hee is in an unfamiliar territory. She's out of her comfort zone. Her father has abandoned her for seemingly no reason at all. Perhaps because he can't afford her, or maybe because she isn't, he. Whatever the excuse, Jin Hee is having a hard time moving on. At 9 years old, she has a brand new life to look forward to, whether she likes it or not.
너 여기 왜 왔는지 알아?
나 때문에 아기가 죽을 뻔했었대요. 아빠, 내가 노래 하나 불러줄까? 당신은 모르실 거야. 얼마나 사모했는지.
친구들이랑 사이좋게 지내고.
아빠, 가는 거야? 제가 좀... 난 고아가 아니에요. 진이야, 너 빨리 못 내려와!
말 잘 듣고 착해야 누가 널 데려가지. 너 그럼 언제까지 여기 있을래?
나 아무 데도 안 가요.
이제 너도 다 잊어버려야 돼. 아빠 다시 안 오셔. 절대 안 오실 거야.
Your father wanted you to have a better life. A Brand New Life is a very touching piece of cinema. I watched it feeling for the little girl and her plight. She's been left at an orphanage and believes it's her fault. Jin Hee's father isn't honest with her and instead tricks his daughter into believing they're only visiting the home. The rest of the movie deals with Jin Hee coming to terms with being abandoned and trying to deal with her emotions. She loves her daddy and likes to sing for him, but she's also angry because he hasn't returned for her yet. And why an orphanage? Jin Hee wasn't an orphan. Many of the kids that stay here are not orphans, says one of the nuns to Jin Hee. Was that supposed to make her feel better? What I found interesting about this picture is the way Jin Hee is abandoned. I'm not speaking about how her father dumped her off at the children's home but the way in which he is isolated even among the other children. She does find a friend, however, it takes quite a while for Jin-hee to move on. Imagine living this simple, easygoing life of a child. All your needs are met and even a few of your wants. 9 years of love, nurturing, and fun. And then it just stops. On top of that, everyone seems to be okay with it except you. Your father doesn't care because he's gone. The nuns pretend to care. And the headmaster is a mean, aging woman who is hard to please. Is there a home for a sullen, quiet little 9-year-old who likes to sing? Interestingly enough, this movie is a little harder for me to recommend. The subject is solemn enough, but it lost my attention at times in its repetitive way of displaying Jin-hee's despair. We get a lot of scenes where Jin-hee is staring into space or hiding in some bushes digging holes. I wondered why the scenes weren't grabbing me the way I thought they would. It's because there isn't really an adult figure to help Jin-hee cope with her loss until the end. You like to think somebody at the children's home would take her under their wing. The caretakers all try to glaze over her misery. It sort of made me cringe a little, to be honest. For these people to run a children's home, they don't seem to be very good with children, at least the nurturing aspect of it. Yes, they take the children to mass every Sunday. Yes, they have them do chores and create craft projects. But I've worked with kids since I was one myself. The number one thing a kid appreciates about having adults around? Someone to talk with. Kids need that older man or woman to guide them through the tougher times in their life. They shouldn't be left alone to deal with their troubles if we can help it. But the adults in Jin-hee's life seem to miss that point. They don't seem to think kids will do better sorting things out for themselves without the guidance of parents or guardians. I guess they just assume kids are able to do that themselves, like it's the 19th century or something. So much of the movie is reportedly based on the early childhood of the director, Kenny Lecomte. And I know I pronounced that wrong, but whatever, I do my best. I apologize. Don't send me an email about how I pronounced it wrong. But here's hoping adults in her childhood were a little more nurturing and understanding, am I right? So, you guys can find A Brand New Life on Netflix. I'm not quite sure if it's on Asian Crush. You can check it out. It's probably on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube these days. So that's what that is. odacastradio@gmail.com. You guys want to recommend something for me to watch? You got any thoughts and, rants on some of the movies I've talked about in the past? Maybe A Brand New Life. You saw that recently and your opinion differs from mine. I would like to hear from you. odacastradio@gmail.com. All right, so after the quick song break, we'll get back. And Romantic Triangle is the subject of the next movie, Yes or No 2, 2012 film. Screen Visions Radio, coming back in a minute.
From the blog out there in Dallas, Texas, it's Screen Divisions Radio coming at ya.